Physical or digital? That is probably the question that I hear asked more than anything else in the video game community, especially in the collecting community. If you want the answer, there is a definitive one, but you're going to have to watch the video to find out what that is. Limited Run as a company is appealing for two major reasons. The number one reason, the reason that I buy their games, is because it takes games that are digital only and allows you to own them physically. It allows you to take a game that might get taken off the eShop at one point. It might just go away once that console loses popularity, like all the virtual shop games. Once they shut down the online service for that console, those games are gone forever. We all know the infamous Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up that no one can ever have now unless they downloaded it to their console because it was never given a physical release. So these companies like Limited Run, Super Rare Games, Strictly Limited, Red Art Games, there's so many now it's hard to keep up. But what they're doing that is so incredible is they're giving you a hard copy of that game that you get to keep forever. No matter what happens, you can always play that game. And that's why I love the limited release companies, because I am very much a physical collector of games. I just like to have them on my shelves. I like to be like, I own this. It's tangibly mine. I never really get that feeling with digital games. However, now that I've been gaming for a couple years on my Nintendo Switch, I'm starting to really like digital games. But more on that later. I said there were two major reasons that people love these companies like Limited Run Games. The first I just went over. They give digital games a physical release. The second reason is that the releases are limited. Some people only buy these games as an investment because they think, oh, there's only X number of copies of this game. There's only a few thousand copies. It's going to be rare one day. Now, most people don't. Most people, I believe, real collectors, buy them when they're limited run games, when they normally wouldn't, but not because they're trying to make money, because they're afraid that these games are going to get so pricey over time, they won't be able to buy them in the future. So they think they should buy them now. And that leads me to my point. Would limited run games be better if their releases weren't limited? And also, could they even do that? Now, the reason that their games sell so fast is because of that scarcity. Not only for the scalpers or the resellers that are trying to flip these games, but for the true gamers and collectors out there that just don't want to have to pay the scalper prices later. If you knew that you could buy any limited run game for the retail price at any time, or any super rare game like these, or Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which is over $200 now. If you know that at any time you could just pay the $30, $35, $40, whatever it is, most limited run are $34.99, would you be inclined to buy them right on release day the way you are now? Probably not. When Limited Run started taking games that they said would never be sold anywhere else and started making these deals with companies like Best Buy to reprint them, a lot of people got really upset. And I don't think those people were upset that other people are getting access to these physical copies. They're upset because they scraped together the money that they had at the time to get these when they came out. They were up at the crack of dawn to place their orders. And they come to find out, oh, I could have just waited and picked this up anytime. I didn't have to put in all that effort. And some people are getting frustrated. Now, maybe there's people more out there than I think that are getting mad because they bought these games because they wanted them to be worth a lot of money. And now they're getting mad that these rare games that they have aren't worth as much money because they're getting reprinted. However, I'm of the belief that it would be a good thing if these games weren't limited. That leads me to my next point. Could Limited Run even do that? Well, they kind of already do. Because with a lot of their games, like if you look at the Star Wars Jedi Knight Academy, Jedi Knight 2, that they're releasing right now, they take pre-orders for a whole month. If they've never had this many, but if they got 100,000, theoretically, they would make 100,000 copies. If they get 50,000, they make 50,000 copies. If Best Buy wants to order more later, they make more for Best Buy on their popular games. They did it for Panzer Dragoon, the month before. Instead of doing a print run of 5,000 where you have to order right away in order to get in on it, they literally just let everyone order it over the course of an entire month. Then whatever that number is, they'll ship out as many as are ordered. So why can't they do that with all their releases, and why can't they do that with past releases? Now, a lot of it is licensing. If they only had a license to print 5,000 and the company doesn't want to relicense, that's, not in Limited Run's control. But a lot of their games, including their own games like Breach and Clear, they can do anytime. They can get another license. They can do the month of pre-orders. They could ask their fans, what games do you want to see that you missed out on? Super Rare Games could go back to the developers of Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time and be like, look, your game sells for $300 to $500 on eBay. People want more. Can we do another limited release? That company could go to Best Buy themselves and do a release. These games don't have to be so rare, and I don't know if people in the community would be happy about it or upset about it if they got a more massive release. I mean, obviously, someone that paid $300 for Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time on eBay would probably be upset if you could buy it for $30 again. That I understand. And there are people paying that price every day for that game. And it's just like, I don't understand why you would pay that much for a game when you can get it for, I think, like less than $10 digitally. If you're getting it to play, there's no reason that you need to spend that much money. Ever since I got the Nintendo Switch, and now I've gotten a Switch Lite as well, right here with my Skull & Co. Grip case, I've started to realize that digital games are so much more convenient than physical ones. I, myself, have cystic fibrosis and have to go in the hospital for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. Every few months, I have, pretty much my whole life, and I've had the disease my whole life. It's gotten worse as I've gotten older, and then recently it's gotten better, so I'm doing fine. But, it's tough to bring a ton of cartridges, to and from places, and the point of the Switch is that it's supposed to be on the go. It's supposed to be easy. Yes, you can get cartridge books, there's cartridge slots in your case, but sometimes if you're on the go, if you're not in your own home, those things are little, you don't want to drop them. It's inconvenient. And when 99% of the time you can get the games cheaper digitally, it's easier to actually play if you're not just putting them on a shelf. It's easier to actually play them when it's digital. Yeah, a lot of times I'll get games digitally, and sometimes, like games like Animal Crossing, I love that game. So not only do I own a physical copy of Animal Crossing, I have it digitally too, because Animal Crossing is the type of game you can play for just a few minutes at a time. You don't want to have to switch a cartridge out, do the thing. If I want to just jump from one game right into Animal Crossing, do my daily Animal Crossing stuff, then jump back into the main game that I'm playing, I want to be able to do that really easily. Games like Mario Kart, another, quick game you want to jump into real quick. Those are games that are great to have digitally. I wish there was a way you could get a digital license for buying a physical game. Sadly, I don't think that will ever really happen because there are too many people like me who will get the digital game but then can't resist getting a physical copy as well. Just as a fun bonus, I have some games here that I think will end up being rare in the future. And some are limited run, some are red art, some are super rare games, and some are none of the above. But I just wanted to show you guys just a little bit of my collection. This one has been in the news a lot lately, Cooking Mama Cookstar. I was showing at the beginning of the video Final Fantasy 7 and 8, the Twin Pack. This is from Play Asia. The original Dragon Quest Builders, not a limited game at all, but I just think it's going to become rare in the future. Some of my limited run games, Aegis Defenders, Blossom Tales. This is a more recent release. This is from Red Art Games. It's called Stay. We've got another game from Strictly Limited Games. This is the Opus Collection. Onanaki, which was hard to get. I think I had to get this one from Play Asia too. I honestly forget. The Messenger is really going up in price right now. This is from Special Reserve Games, but it was also distributed through Limited Run. I believe this is the Limited Run version. 2 Point Hospital, another game that is just kind of hard to get. Honestly, I have this on PC too. I vastly prefer to play it on the PC, but I fell in love with it so much on the PC. That's why I wanted to get the Switch version as well. And then my two super rare games I was showing, Earthlock, which isn't all that rare. You can still pick this up for, relatively cheap. And then Faroon Collection, which was talked about on YouTube for a little while when it came out, and the price was over $100. Now it's back to like $50 on eBay. So it's kind of interesting how that happens. Now, I promise you get a definitive answer to whether digital or physical is better. And I'm kind of copping out on that when I say, if you're a collector, physical is always going to be better. If you are like me and you love that feeling of tangibly owning something, digital will never replace that. Even if, physical media completely goes away, you're always going to be nostalgic for that. You're always going to prefer that. Just like people now that all music is digital, there's people that collect records still. My dad has over 9,000 CDs. You can, see where I get it from. He has one of the largest CD collections in the country. It's insane. Maybe I'll do a video on it someday. I'm not going to convince you that digital is better, and companies will never convince you digital is better. No one will. And if you like digital, and if you're a PC gamer, no one's going to convince you that consoles are better. No one's going to convince you that physical is better. You're always going to love digital for that convenience. So it just matters what you grow up with. And if you're being objective about it, I feel like you should be able to appreciate both. You should be able to appreciate how convenient, immediate satisfaction, immediate gratification digital games are. And, no true gamer can look at a massive physical collection and not get the feels and not be impressed by that. So if you game a lot, you want your games digitally. You want to be able to jump in and out. You want to be able to play all those different games easily and quickly. It's 2020, and there's not a way that we can just pay one price and get both of those things. It's just crazy that we pay full price for these physical games and we can't enjoy them in the same way that people who buy them digitally do. And, sometimes we pay a premium on these physical games and we still can't enjoy the convenience that someone that paid, pennies on the dollar for a game on the eShop can. And that seems to me like not, the greatest system. But in the end, I'll always be a physical game collector. And I love what Limited Run's doing, but I think it doesn't have to be so limited. And that's my humble opinion. Please let me know your humble opinion or aggressive opinion, any other type of opinion you want in the comments down below. This is a video I really wanted to talk about. I'm all cooped up during quarantine, and thank you so much for watching. Consider dropping a subscribe for more content like this, more gaming content, live streams, kind of do it all on this channel. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Drop a big old fat dislike if you hated it. And if you do that, I appreciate that you gave me the watch time to watch to this part of the video. Just to drop a dislike. I will take those dislikes all day. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, have a good one.